Participatory Methods and Action Research for Innovation in Livelihood and in Agricultural Systems. This is a PhD course, offered by the Department of Extension and Rural Innovations, Makerere University. It addresses the need for bottom-up approaches, in the preparation and implementation of development interventions, including agricultural research and extension. Based on the need to ensure that agricultural interventions reflect the needs of various typologies of farmers and stakeholders, a participatory analysis of the land use and agrarian system in which farmers engage is conducted. Conceptual and procedural guidance on how to go about this analysis are shared. This course is instructed by Dr. Richard and Dr. Sarah Kellop.
I'm in Mityana District Local Government Headquarters. We are having a session with the PhD class, Paris 10, on the course ARI 9109 Participatory Methods and Action Research for Innovation in Livelihood and Agricultural Systems. This is a very exciting course. It blends the knowledge in class with the outreach we're talking about. It helps bridge up the research gaps, and then we blend with the communities. We want to understand what is it that is really hands-on within the community, and how do the models you've learned in class get incorporated into the community divide. We also want to know the research that you are carrying out, does it translate into the community need? So at the end of the day, we are so excited that today we are able to get into the entry point of joining in the community. Specifically, we are able to get in touch with the district teams, the focal point persons, the chief administrative officer, the LC5 chairperson, and it's very important to note that the vice chairperson of this district is a lady and really received us with all the embrace and encouraged us to encourage the communities to read her. So for the students, it's such an exciting moment that they want to see the skills, the qualitative research, the quantitative research, and all the other modules that they've learned in class, and how they can utilize this and have a hands-on experience in the field.
Based on the need to ensure that agricultural interventions reflect the needs of various typologies of farmers and stakeholders, a participatory analysis of the land use and agrarian system in which farmers engage was conducted in Kivuuvu Parish, Maanyi Subcounty, Mityana District from 19th May, 1st of June 2022.
Okay, I'm Andrew Zentusa, a PhD student, Agriculture and Renovation. We are in Mityana District for some action research, and we are trying to understand how this landscape is, how farmers conduct their daily agricultural activities, and this will help us in a way on how to plan for the way forward, or to identify even some challenges or constraints that these farmers face, and also the different opportunities that are really existing within the communities that farmers work in. Therefore, we are starting with Buyobe village. That's where we are starting a transect walk from Buyobe to understand the entire landscape, how this landscape is, what farmers are doing, what helps these farmers to carry out whatever they are carrying out, and even other challenges that these farmers are facing. And in this way, I think after this we shall be making some reports, and of which reports can be shared with district authorities, both the technical and the political wings, so that they are able to come up with a way forward on how to help our farmers move on with their agricultural activities sustainably.
In this study, a systems perspective was used to identify the systemic interactions and interrelations within farmers' livelihoods, and the agrarian system they always engage. The end goal was to present a clear description of the analyzed area, while focusing on biophysical environment, agriculture as an economic activity, identification of important landscape features and how observed features relate to land uses. Also, there was identification of important changes that had occurred on the landscape, for example, crop and livestock yield, etc., description of ways in which farmers put their environment to use. In this action research, participatory transect walks were conducted by mapping with local key informants that were well versed with the area. Detailed observations were made to characterize the different landscape units. Maps were used to verify the relevance of observations. There were guides that helped to observe elements that made up the landscape, for example, hills, plains, slopes, valleys, dips, river terraces.
Began our transect walk at Chiobe, Church of Uganda, primary school. And we had to go uphill via Mbazi Hills, and that's where the Nsenene clan is majorly situated. That's their hill, and there are some ancestral features that already associates with them. We had different things that we had to observe, and being a landscape analysis, we were looking at the vegetation, we were looking at the shape of the entire landscape, we were looking at the different features that are constituted therein, like the water sources, the different wells, the cropping patterns, the kind of systems that these people are really practicing, what kind of crops are they growing. We have looked at the different terrains and the different crops that have been grown, and even the soil types. And we have really seen notable features within, but with variations across the different terrains or topographies. And we have realized that the soil types have been varying with different topographies. The cropping pattern itself has been varying with different topographies, and also the kind of weeds to some extent have been associated with the fertility rates of that soil.
During the transect walk, observations were made by students. The information they got was strangulated within focus group discussions and some interviews with some key farmers within the area. Perennial crops like maize were also most grown in the area, whereas annual crops were not working well. In other variations, students observed closely how farmers were conducting their agricultural enterprises. They realized that people engage much in growing trees, especially eucalyptus. After collecting data from the transect walk and various interviews with the farmers, students sketch a landscape map depicting what has been observed from the field. On January 7, 2022, local leaders at the sub-county and farmers were invited in a meeting to give them the feedback of the study. The field exercise ended successfully, as Dr. Sarah narrates.
It has been a very exciting experience in the field with the PhD in Agriculture and Renovations Parish 10. We've had a good time with the community, with the students, as colleagues, and the district team. The sub-county group were very receptive. The farmers were so excited, and finally settling in to give to them or to deliver to them our findings and how collaborations can be achieved with partners has been so exciting. Next time we request that more resources are availed so that we have a longer time in the field, so that the students are able to participate in the participatory methods in depth and understand this course better, because this is one course that will make them relevant to the communities, improve livelihoods, and specifically make use of their PhD, because PhD in agricultural innovation is mainly looking at how to improve the livelihoods of the people. So if this knowledge they get from class is translated into improved livelihoods for the community, then we would have achieved objective as a Department of Extension and Innovation Studies. I want to thank the head of department for supporting this training, Professor Nelson Turiahabwe, and the coordinators. And also I want to thank the lead instructor, Dr. Miru, for taking lead in this. I also want to thank our technician, Mr. Kasuja, for covering the entire session. It was very impressive. And our transport manager, Buziwa. Thank you very much. God bless you.